All right, we are live. Welcome in, Braves Country. Happy 4th of July
Fourth.
from the Pennant Grace. First things first, we are sponsored by Roback. Use code PG20 to get 20% off your order. And you're in Roback today.
Yeah, of course. Roback.com, PG20 saves 20% at checkout. You can't beat that. What's more American than this shirt? Look at that. We got the red, white, and blue.
Awesome.
We are ready to go for the day. Your favorite holiday, definitely in the top tier of mine. Got to see the fireworks last night. Had a great time.
We had fireworks last night in my grandma's neighborhood. Incredible showcase. It was just so American. Today, my mom is hosting people, and it's my favorite holiday. You know why? Because expectations are so low that if you are by water, if you have a cold drink in your hand, if you have sunshine and an American flag somewhere, you're good to go. And that's what I love about this holiday.
That's right. So the menu for today is what?
Hot dogs on the grill. Burgers, mac and cheese, watermelon, homemade ice cream, like rock salt. Oh yeah, peach cobbler.
Yes,
and I'm making my homemade cupcakes with raspberry and blueberry topping.
Oh my gosh!
I know. You guys all wish you'd come over.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
You're gonna
if you guys
do that big, and then you'll be at the game tonight.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Going to tomorrow's game. Okay.
Our giveaway winners are at the game tonight. How incredible is that?
Yes, they are. Very excited about that. So going to Casa de Brown tonight.
Nice.
Ryan Allen Brown hosts the next round. Pork chops on the grill. He's the grill master. Megan bringing tater tot casserole, banana pudding, and watermelon. So did burgers last night. Burgers, potato salad, beans, and going with that this evening. Cannot wait. Our contest winner there tonight. My mom and dad there tonight. Hopefully there tomorrow, which I'll give a heads up on that if they are. They're trying to get tickets for tomorrow, but they'll be there this evening. Went to the fireworks last night. One of Millie's friends. Shout out to Lila Kate, who's a huge Braves fan. Her and her family will be there this evening as well. That's 20 Central Time start. And we got Uncle Charlie on the mound for that one. He's going to take on Logan Webb. Logan is 6-6 with a 3.12 ERA. Uncle Charlie at 5-4 with a 3.89. Really good game last night. So series split. So we'll see what direction it goes this evening.
I definitely think a win tonight would be crucial, dare I say, going into the weekend against the Phillies. I like the split, obviously, like that we got the win last night. But what is your overall takeaways so far from this series with the Giants?
You know, the Giants are in line with several of the teams the Braves have been playing lately, as in teams that are hovering around that 500 mark. So the Braves have had a run lately where they've been playing teams that aren't great and aren't bad. And, if they can like the Cardinals and teams like that. And so it's hard. I'm still, we talked about this with Reed. I'm still really unsure about that NL West. And if another team emerges there, I'm confident again that the NL East gets two teams in the playoffs. I'm interested to see where that other wild card comes in. Would it be from the Central or the West? And I think in the West, other than Colorado, I think all of those teams are in it. And so watching the Giants the last two nights, giving me a better picture of who they are, you definitely see a team to me that is capable of at some point making a run. I'll stick with San Diego. I think you'll probably stick with Arizona. But it wouldn't shock me to see San Francisco enter the mix there.
I agree. I think that last night, one thing, and not that we're a Giants show, but they got very impatient at the plate. And I think that was what allowed a really good pitching performance from the Braves. Soler is really good for them. He seems to have risen to the occasion in a lot of moments. And I think a guy like that is what's missing from our team right now at the plate. The bats are getting cold again. But I think right now, more than ever, and we talked about this with trade deadline coming up, I full in agreement with you. We need bats. We need bats.
And I called off any talk of a Adam Duvall resurgence, but he had a really good night, and you do see maybe some baby steps to him kind of getting it together. If we could get him, just to get out of the 100s and get him into the upper 200s, I would, that would be huge for
Mhm.
for. So that was encouraging to see Austin Riley. But you're right, you're going to have to be pretty precise in your pitching when you're a little offensively challenged. I never would have guessed last year that we would be talking about the Braves being offensively challenged. But the proof is in the pudding for Atlanta and what their strength is right now when you look at that All-Star roster. And you got
Mhm.
5 Braves going to the All-Star game. 4 of them are pitchers.
So again, if you would have told me that last season, I would have thought you were crazy. And we can go through that list here in a second. But it is interesting to see such a shift in the style of baseball. I don't even know if you call it the style of baseball. More so, I guess, the makeup of our team. The strengths of our team have flipped so dramatically in the last year. And I'm young as a 23-year-old, but I feel like it's been such a dramatic shift that I haven't seen from we are here offensively to now we're just like, can you get out of the hundreds? That doesn't really uh, sit right with me to see how quickly that changes. But again, we've talked about this before. Baseball is such a game of momentum and streaks. And we saw a little glimpse of it, and it seems like we're kind of falling back into the bats getting cold again. But right now, if the Braves are going to heat up, it needs to be this game going into the Philly series.
Yeah, I agree. One thing biggest takeaway last night was Chris Sale. CJ Natowski, the color guy for the Braves broadcast, for those that get to watch the Braves broadcast, and you don't, you're missing out. He and Brandon Gaulden have a really nice chemistry going. But he pointed out on X today, aka Twitter, you had, oh gosh, and now I forget the player for the Giants, Lopez, I think it was, who got walked and did like this mini bat flip when he got walked. And you could just see Terminator style Chris Sale lock in, and he had a little extra mustard on the next at bat when he struck him out. Chris Sale, deservedly an all-star, I think should be the starter. He's 11-3. He's got a 2.71 ERA and 127 strikeouts. Absolutely phenomenal. Whatever the Braves thought they were going to get going in, I think Anthopoulos spoke pretty confidently that we're going to get the Chris Sale that we used to see. I think he still exceeded those expectations, and he's been the best pitcher on staff for me, and that's a close margin considering you got 3 starters that made the All-Star game.
Would you, and I want the chat to respond to this as well, do you think this is the best Alex Anthopoulos move that has paid out? Chris Sale, do you think that this could be it?
I think it could be it. And I'll tell you why, because he's had so many great moves, but I'll tell you why. One, the deal that he signed him to, and he's not going to be going anywhere. And 2, and most importantly, is, and we talked about this when we talked about the trade deadline, you and I, just there's not a lot there in terms of elite starting pitching. And so it's so valuable, and it leads to that supply and demand thing as far as what they end up getting paid, how hard it is to get them. When you can get a guy like him, how the Braves were able to lock him in, it definitely has the potential to be Anthopoulos' best move, and that is the high cotton. He's had a lot of great moves.
He has, and it's interesting to even talk about and looking back on some former moves that Alex Anthopoulos has made. He seems to have such a brain for it. That's why I'm anxious and excited to see what he does before the trade deadline. I was just in the office over there, and they had the MLB trade rumors up, and Buster Olney was out there saying some rumors. But I'm excited to see what the roster additions will be come July 30th. We do have the All-Star game right around the corner. So the next round will actually be in Dallas for SEC Media Days. I will say I'm not sure who planned SEC Media Days and the All-Star game to be in town at the same time, because it's going to be just a tiny bit crowded in Dallas. But we're thinking we may try and potentially maybe catch the home run derby or the game. But which one? We asked Buster this. Which event would you rather be a part of?
Yeah, and Buster said the home run derby, and I would agree with him. I liked his points on the next round. This was yesterday's show. If you missed that, that's available in the archives at the next round. And, the changes in the All-Star game where he said, hey, growing up, you'd see the starters go, multiple innings. And now you got, it's so widespread, guys will play an inning and then you get a fresh crop of guys. And so I tend to agree with him on that. My wish for all of this is you and Buster meeting.
I know. I want to meet him so bad.
Here on the Pennant Grace. That would be pretty good there.
So last time, I guess this was maybe his first or second time of the season being on the show, the normal show. And he was in Atlanta, and there was talk about me shadowing him for that game in Atlanta. And long story short, it was just too late of a notice, but he was super nice about it. But thinking about that, the possibility made me so excited. And then after that, seeing how he interacted with Brown and about how he was so willing to accommodate that, I'm like, he's just an awesome guy. And he showed his garden yesterday. If you guys haven't seen that interview, go check it out, because just hearing him talking, even if you're not a baseball fan, I'm assuming all of you guys that are on our show with the Pennant Grace, you guys are baseball fans, but some people just aren't. And Buster makes it so easy to just consume information when it comes to MLB.
Yeah, I agree. Going back real quick, can go in depth on this for an hour, but just real briefly on those Anthopoulos moves.
Yeah.
That would come to mind. Obviously, the very early re-signing and long-term deals with Acuna, Riley. He locked those real standard bearers for the franchise for years to come, locking those guys in. I think of the Matt Olson and Sean Murphy deals. That was done. And then, the moves he's been able to make to get guys that, that the expectations maybe weren't as high, to see how they perform. Ronaldo Lopez first comes to mind because it's so fresh what he's doing right now. Now, he didn't have a great start. That was a in game one against the Giants. We saw Ronaldo go, I think it was just a little over 5, or right at 5, and he got roughed up a little bit, had control issues. He talked about that in the post-game press conference, but that he's if anyone's earned a right to have a subpar start, it's him. So many good Anthopoulos deals, but again, that Chris Sale deal is definitely prominent right now, and I'm really happy that he's going to be an all-star for the Braves.
You mentioned the Matt Olson deal, and I think that is almost a little overshadowed by some other deals and moves he's done, because I go back to what short notice he had with Freddie Freeman's exit. Right. That wasn't necessarily planned for. It seemed as though, and I would love to know the full story behind that. I think one day we'll know the entirety of what actually went down between Freddie Freeman, his agent, the Braves organization, the front office. But I think that is something to be considered, is the timing of it, and how Matt Olson, I mean, you're filling such big shoes, and he has done it so well. And we've talked about this as well. Like Freddie Freeman, we're always going to love Freddie. We would love for him to retire a Braves and watch him on the Dodgers is excellent. But Matt Olson, he has been exponentially more than we could have asked for. Now this season's struggling, but you guys know what I mean.
You lost elite first baseman and immediately replaced him with an elite first baseman.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's pretty rare. So yeah, I agree. That's definitely one that's pretty high up there.
Let's move into the All-Star game. So right before I sent you the NL roster of NL starters. So I'll say these real quick. Just want your opinion on them. We've got Shohei Ohtani, William Contreras, Bryce Harper, Ketel Marte, Alec Baum, Trey Turner, Christian Yelich, Jurickson Profar, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, I don't have any problems there.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's interesting though. Oh, sorry, I'm interrupting you. Go ahead.
Saying you see the Phillies well represented, but they should be. They're the best record in baseball. They're the best team in baseball. That doesn't bode well for Atlanta, who's about to play them. And we talked about this Monday, even with injuries, they have the depth. Braves find themselves 9 games back right now. And so that's, to your point, as we started the show about, you thinking it's how important it would be to win the series with the Giants when you're 9. That's the largest we've seen, right? 9 games back. I don't think it's gotten higher than that. But they're 7-3 in their last 10 games. They've won 3 in a row, injured. So Philadelphia is the best team in baseball.
They are, and they're showing that. And last year, the Braves were the best team in baseball, and we had, what was it, 8 starters, a record?
Right.
So it makes sense, and I do agree that it does. It is interesting not to see any of our guys up there, but Marcell Ozuna will be there. We've
And
got Max Fried.
Marcell belongs non-pitcher from the Braves to make the All-Star team. But who else really would be deserving of that? And I can't find anyone else.
No.
Had Jared Kelenic been playing like he's played the last month, then Jared Kelenic would be deserving to be an All-Star.
And we asked who people thought should be an all-star, and it was crickets. And I think that's very telling, because I agree. I don't think anyone beyond the pitching staff besides Marcell. I think that's a great point. Jared Kelenic, if he had been producing how he is right now for the last 3 months, we would see him there. But Marcell, truthfully, is the only one that deserves to be out there, because he's quite literally carried this team since opening day.
I agree.
Marcell is open.
And I have no issue with that, him being the only non-pitcher. And I'm just so happy for the 4 pitchers that got in, all deserving of that honor. I'm not going to lie to you. That brings me the most joy is Jesse Chavez. Last night on fireworks, Lila Kate said, who's your favorite Brave right now? And it just immediately came out of my mouth was Jesse Chavez. The guy's journey and how he's risen to the occasion, and just a grinder, the guy who's found a way to continue to make it work throughout his career, even as he goes into his 40s. And the support he's gotten from his teammates has been so cool to see. I've just absolutely loved it. He's appeared in 27 games, 35.2 innings pitched, 1.51 ERA with 30 strikeouts. I love Uncle Jesse. I'm so happy to see him be an all-star. It's just fantastic. And what an interesting career. There's 30 in Major League Baseball teams. I think he's played for 40 of them.
Yeah.
But all of his great moments, his best moments, his best play has been as a Brave, and the numerous stints he's had as an Atlanta Brave.
And that, I feel like, is a marquee for that baseball club, is suddenly you get put in a Braves uniform and good things happen. But for me, it was the support that you touched on. Every guy wearing "Send Jesse to Dallas" shirt was incredible.
Yeah.
And I want to know if we can all purchase those shirts, because they were so cool.
I think so. And I think can we give a non-sponsored plug? I think that's Roto. I think that's Roto, ROTO, Roto Wear, who does a lot of personalized player type stuff. So there's a free plug for Roto Wear. Maybe we'll tag them in that. But some really good stuff there. I think I need to go buy one as soon as
I think so too. I think we can all start sporting them. Maybe we'll give one away too.
Yeah, I like that.
Rod says he's going to the game tomorrow. Rod, I will be there as well. So,
all right, Rod.
Yeah, so let us know where you're sitting. Again, if you guys are going to games, let us know. We want to see your pictures. It'd be fun to do a series too, as we kind of get into the later months of the season, to do like best food at Truist Park of the season, best seats I sat in, best restaurant in the Battery, things like that, and kind of put a guide together for some people that may not go to the Battery and Truist Park very often, but we can kind of give a fan perspective of what to do if you're headed to a game.
I love all that. Who did you see? Who'd you get to meet? Because you never know. I'm just standing outside the stadium. Brian Jordan's just walks by. I get to talk to Brian Jordan. So you never know what's going to happen when you're there. I love the thing you said about where did you go in the Battery? What did you buy? The clubhouse store is tremendous, by the way. So you got a great clubhouse store there with other different stores, obviously positioned throughout the stadium. What'd you buy? What was your favorite item? Did you get ice cream in a cup? All the things.
Is there a bobblehead giveaway tomorrow? Do we know?
Not sure. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. It'll be
Friday fireworks, Friday Reds. Well, if they're giving away anything, I'll get an extra one, and we'll also put that as a giveaway, because we obviously love giveaways here at the Pennant Grace.
We do.
So last night my family asked this question, and we're going to ask our audience here on the 4th of July, where is the best place that you've seen fireworks?
Oh, that's a good question. So last night we were at the Hoover Country Club and sitting there on the golf course. It was a very good fireworks show. I'm not the greatest fan of fireworks. It was a little late, e.g., as in after 9. It was go home and go to bed. Complete transparency here on the Pennant Grace. I was ready to go home and go to bed. I prefer fireworks where you're not going specifically for the fireworks. So like you get in your car and get your chair and do the whole setup just for fireworks. So for me, the best place I've ever seen fireworks is at a Braves game. I'll be honest with you.
They have some good ones. So I was actually at the Braves game 2 years ago today on the 4th of July. So me and my dad went, and we got, because every summer we try and do a Braves game together where we get like the fun seats. We go behind home plate. We do the Delta Sky Club. It's a whole thing. And so I want to go on the 4th. It's my favorite holiday. And that game, there was a rain delay. And we were at Truist Park until 2 a.m. on 4th of July. And there were no fireworks because of the noise ordinance. So I wish I could have seen the truest version of 4th of July. But last night were pretty good. We were at Indian Hills Country Club in Marietta. If you guys are familiar with that, I'm back home in Atlanta. But I feel like I love a beach firework moment. I love the beach. I love to be on the beach cheer. Hunter says Lake Martin, not even a contest. Again, something about fireworks water.
Yeah, I've heard the one at Lake Martin is great. Yeah.
Yeah. Daryl says downtown Homewood.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I could see that.
Braves fireworks on Flag Day was incredible last month. Interesting.
Nice.
They just do it right. I'm excited for tomorrow. I haven't been to a game, honestly, in a couple of months. It's been a long stretch. So I'll report back all of the findings. It'll be the first game of the Phillies series. So excited, nervous, anxious to see how the Braves do. And I really would like to get the win tonight to kind of propel this team, especially the bats going into that. We've said it, a million times already, but I think that's kind of the key heading into July is start winning series, but win them big with bats.
Braves will not be able to beat Philadelphia on pitching alone. They're going to have to hit.
No.
So I agree with you. As much momentum as the Braves can get to get a good run at Philly is key.
And I'm just thinking here, let's say the Braves, win today against the Giants, sweep the Phillies. How many games back does that put us come Tuesday, come Monday?
Yeah, you could go from a 9-game deficit, depending on what they do in between that series, and shorten that to 4 or 5 games?
4 or 5 games. That puts it into perspective. So be thinking about that. If the Braves can get hot right now, this 9-game deficit can look a little more bearable this time next week. We will be back on Tuesday at 12:15.
Monday.
Monday, excuse me. We're in the office on Monday. Yes. We'll be back on Monday at 12:15. I'm just wanting this 4th of July holiday to extend even more.
Yeah.
Monday, 12:15. And then just some housekeeping before we head out and enjoy the rest of our 4th. In 2 weeks, I'll be in Dallas. So we'll have remote shows this setting. Hopefully I can give you guys some insight on some all-star festivities happening over there, but it should be normal schedule. We'll keep you guys updated on that, but just plan for normal week, both in the studio next week. And then we'll keep you updated on that second week.
Sounds good. Rowback.com. Code PG20 saves you 20% on the best gear. Your polos, your quarter zips, the lightweight hoodies, the hats, all the stuff for the ladies out there as well. Rowback. And then, like I said on Monday, showed a lot of good red, white, and blue like I have on.
Yeah. And the month of July, you can wear red, white. You can wear red, white, and blue any month of the year because the United States is so incredible. I did say we were going to ask each other what your favorite thing about the United States is, and then we'll head out of here.
Well, I tell you, for the purposes of the show, I'm going to say baseball. And, I get how people say, that America's pastime, football's the official sport of the country, and I get all that, and I won't argue that. But there is something so American and romantic about our country game of baseball. And just the fact that you're going to have so many people together with family, with friends and loved ones, and they're going to be fellowshipping and eating, and they're going to have baseball on, just like we will this evening, watching Atlanta and San Francisco. So I'm going to go with baseball. Baseball, Ray.
My favorite thing about this country is I get made fun of kind of my family because I just will say kind of randomly, I just love the United States so much. And I think that I'm going to agree with you, the family and fellowship. How cool is it that today we all get to hang out and most of us are off work. If not, thank you for doing whatever you're doing. But we get to be together celebrating freedoms that is not prevalent everywhere in this world. And how cool is that? It's not perfect by any means, but it is a pretty dang good place to get to call home and watch some baseball, be with family, get to eat some hot dogs and hamburgers. And that is just incredible to me. And all of the people that make that happen, where we can enjoy the freedoms every day, is not lost.
Yes. We'll see that food on display at MEG Sports on X, Push, or Sisk. You can count on food picks for me, guaranteed on that. Got to see Ryan Brown's pork chops. They're going to be a thing of beauty.
All right. Well, you guys know where to keep up with us. It's at the Pennant Grace, at MEG_sports, at @us_Sisk. Keep up with us. We want to be y'all's go-to for Braves baseball, and we will see you back here Monday at 12:15. Happy 4th of July.